What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel with Guitar Control here, and today I want to talk a little bit about moving chord shapes around. Now, this is something that can really cut back on the learning curve in learning to play songs right out of the gate. Makes things a lot easier and kind of simplifies some of the more complex chords that you may seem and be able to learn a lot more in a very efficient way. So this is kind of like a precursor to a course that I'm doing that you can get on the pre-list to sign up for, to be notified when it comes out, or if you're watching this video after it already came out, just click that link below, because I kind of compiled a ton of different songs where you can learn like a bunch of different songs using only a few chord voicings. And I really think it's like a really cool musical way to get into it. I want to talk specifically about minor chords today, just kind of like as a way to get going on learning different chords by learning one chord shape. So we're going to learn an A minor chord shape. Maybe you already know it. One of the first ones you learn, you see it in hundreds and hundreds of songs, thousands of songs. And you're gonna run into this shape all the time. It's open A string, middle finger, second fret on the D string, ring finger, second fret on the G string, pointer finger, first fret on the B string, open high E string. You can strum all six if you want, optionally, but on a guitar, a lot of times you want the root note to be the lowest note you play. So this is an A minor chord, therefore an A is the root note. The minor is going to be kind of like the sound that we get on top of that root note. So an A minor chord, the lowest note generally is going to be an A. So the open A string is where we start. Now E is another note in this chord. I don't want to get too far into like all the notes and stuff in chords. We're going to talk about that in the course a lot in a very simple way that you can remember. But when you strum all six, you're getting low E as your open note in an A minor. Again, that is totally fine. Sounds good, but to really drive home the A nature of this A minor chord, we want that open A string, okay? Now, at first when you're doing it, it can be a little bit of a challenge to kind of crunch all these fingers together, but with enough practice, you're gonna get good tone out of it. Now, one thing I want to talk about is how this is a movable shape. So the difference between open chords and movable chords is as follows. Like this right here, when I say this is an open chord, I'm holding down, I'm fretting three notes, right? The second fret of the D string, second fret of the G string, first fret of the B string. And I have open note help from the A string and the high E string, okay? So it's an open chord. The open strings are helping me make this chord. Now generally, we'd have to use a bar chord to do a higher voice of this chord, something like this, but bar chords can be kind of difficult when you're first getting into playing guitar. That's why in this course I tried to make it as less bar chordy as possible. So we will cover bar chords in the course, but playing bar chords isn't totally necessary to play really all the songs you'd ever want to learn, because we can do this trick where we just move this one shape higher and higher. Now, the reason we can do this is because I'm not bringing the open notes with me, okay? So what I mean by that, if I play the bottom five strings, like this on this A minor, and I move this shape, I move everything I'm fretting one fret higher, doesn't really sound good, right? Because the open strings stayed the same, but my chord voicing went up. So sometimes it might work and sound okay, but a lot of times, it just sounds kind of messy because those open chords are really not helping us anymore. So what we can do is we can focus in on just the D, G, and B strings and then kind of move this around and then go through the musical alphabet, all right? Again, if you've never paid any attention to the musical alphabet, something else we go over in the course with different graphics and PDF files and stuff like that too. So what you'll learn is this is an A minor chord. The next note after A in the musical alphabet is A sharp or B flat. So this, when I don't play the open strings, is an A sharp or B flat minor chord. The next one after that is a B minor, so on and so forth. B minor might be one of those other chords that you've seen a lot. Looks like this on most chord charts, which again, that's kind of like a bar chord, but you can always do an easier version just by doing the essential components of that chord right there. So it's really just about taking one chord voicing and being able to move it all over the place. Again, there's only 12 notes in music. We're gonna go over all those individual notes in that course, again, if you click the link below. But just know that you can move a shape on a guitar in in 12 different spots and get 12 different chords. So, you know, even if you don't take the course, this is just something that you can kind of like take with you in your knowledge on guitar or other instruments, that you learn one shape on a guitar as long as you're cognizant of where the open strings are and not moving with the open strings, or being aware that when you play a string open, it's not going to move when your hand moves. That kind of thing may seem obvious to a lot of people. I promise you, it's not obvious to everybody, myself included. I always thought that like learning a different chord meant I had to memorize a whole new location and a whole new hand position, stuff like that. That's the beautiful thing about guitars when you're first starting. It's like so much easier than like a piano where you have to know like a different kind of voicing for everything. You have to know all the notes to go into it. The beauty of how a guitar is set up is you learn a shape, and then you can move that shape to a different location. As long as you understand how the musical alphabet works, these are all movable chords. You learn one shape, you learn 12 chords, right? So you can learn a shape in a matter of minutes, sometimes even quicker if you're a true boss. Move it around, and then, you know, anything you learn, multiply by 12. It's really awesome, okay? So just wanted to kind of pass that along to you. Something you can practice really well, even if I'm playing this kind of finger style where I'm hitting these 3 strings at the same time. You don't have to. You totally use the pick, and then kind of just try to focus in and concentrate on just hitting these 3 and then using the rest of your hand to mute the other strings. Like right here, if I move this down a string, it doesn't sound bad because, see, my thumb is kind of hanging over and it's muting those open strings that aren't, sadly, allowed to join the party. So definitely I hope maybe this is helpful to you. And then really let us know what you want to see more of. If you've already taken the class, that'd be cool. Let us know what you want to see more of from future classes, or definitely just click that link below. Sign up, you'll be notified. You can kind of check it out. We'll have more videos kind of talking about it, see if it's something you might be interested in. And definitely always looking for your feedback. So let us know what you think, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.